So next up I'm going to be going over how the squad and squadron manager work. We have an initialization tree which goes squadron manager, squad manager, void, and I guess squad leader. So it starts with the squadron manager. On event begin play we initialize the squads, which basically goes get all access to class for each loop, initialize them. So what this does is when we initialize them we get the transform of the squad, which is set in the class by default. It's essentially a bunch of little formations that should form a... oh, sorry, wrong thing selected. There we go. A kind of V-shape pattern thing, just to give them a bit of variety when they initially spawn. This then does some basic things like, okay, get the rotation of the squad manager, spawn the voids, then we essentially assign some default values to them, like who their squad manager is, who their squad members are, their attack target, flight target, and we initialize the squad. What this does is pick the first void in the array. It says you're the leader, so everyone else is going to essentially be following you, and go to the first waypoint index. So this was more used when we had them following a spline, but they're much more freeform now, so that's not as much of an issue. So essentially what happens now is that the squad manager does all of the kind of the complex calculations, like working out where the player is relative to the squad, where all the squad members are, and so kind of gives them the average locations where they need to be. This reduces our kind of amount of calculations per tick. From, if we say 1 per void, it takes it from 160 to about 7, according to how many voids there are per squad and all that sort of thing. But yeah, makes it much more efficient. Without it we couldn't have as many ships on the screen as we do right now. So a few things we can see inside here is the squad's average velocity. The current velocity array is basically getting all of their different velocities, their current average location, their attack target, flight target, whether they can respawn or not. This comes into effect when we blow up the array. It stops them being able to call in reinforcements every once in a while. I think it's once the voids drop down to 50, they then call in another 50, and rinse and repeat until the communications get blown up. So yeah, that's basically it. The stuff on whether or not they've been destroyed is again quite straightforward. It's just in the initialization tree, which is where we redo our squad. Basically go here, can we respawn? If we can, initialize. If we can't, don't. So the squad just sits there idle instead.